Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first live stream. We are Magic Partners Live, and let me introduce everyone firstly before we get into our first show. First of all, very emotional day today. We've got Disneyland opening, the happiest place on earth, finally open again. And we're going to cover that today and a lot more things. But first of all, I want to introduce the two people next to me. First of all, I'm John from Sydney, Australia. I run a little show called D News Jam that happens every week, every Friday, and with my wife. And we put that up weekly, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. So that's me, and then next to me is Chase. Chase is the founder and editor of blog site DisneylandToday.net. Chase has the best knowledge of anyone I know in regards to Disneyland, Star Wars, and for that matter, Disney as a whole. You've got to head over to DisneylandToday.net. In my view, it's the best and most informative Disneyland website on the net. So that's Chase. Hi, Chase. How you going? Good, good.
Hey.
Hey. And then next to Chase is Brian. And Brian is a former Walt Disney World cast member, now turned vlogger. He visits Disney World each and every week, sometimes twice a week, and features them on his great YouTube channel, Brian's Magic Life. Brian's Disney knowledge shines through in his vlogs. They are very informative and fun to watch if you haven't seen them before. I'm going to put a link down the bottom after you've seen this show to Brian's Magic Life, DisneylandToday.net, and of course, D News Jam. So guys, how are we today? What are we going to be talking about today? Well, I think most obviously we're going to get into Disneyland. And we've seen it open this morning. Let's take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Chase to let us know what's going to be open and what to expect today for people entering the park. But what I want to put up, or we're having a chat about that, is a live aerial view that came through from an ABC chopper this morning. Of Disneyland actually opening, and I reckon this would have been about 5 or 6 in the morning. No one had entered the parks yet, so that's great. So Chase, let us know what's going to be open today in terms of attractions, restaurants, and what can people expect when they walk into the parks, and tell us how excited and emotional you are about the opening.
I'm serious, like if I was there, I'd be an emotional mess. I'd probably be sobbing. I'd probably be going crazy and like, what am I going to do first? But that's an extremely good question about what's going on, what is open today. So let me pull that up for you and we can take a look at it. And we did find a couple of extra things that were going to be open, but basically in general, we've got a good part of the, I wouldn't call, not all of them are e-ticket attractions, but we've got the Astro Orbiter, Autopia, Space Mountain, and Star Tours open in Tomorrowland. Pretty much everything in Fantasyland is opening, including Snow White's Enchanted Wish. This is a beautiful, beautiful ride, and I was able to take a look at it when the cast preview came up, and I have updated the virtual tour on DisneylandToday.net with that video. And so we got Mickey's Toons, which is Gadget's Go Coaster, and Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. And heading over to Distance, and I did find out that Savi's Workshop is taking reservations. I did not think it was. They didn't mention it, but I went to the official website, and they certainly are. So you can get a reservation for that today. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Mark Twain are open in Frontierland. Splash Mountain in New Orleans Square. And got Indiana Jones, Tarzan, and the Enchanted Tiki Room open in Adventureland. And, of course, the Disneyland Railroad and just about every one of the Main Street vehicles is open on Main Street, USA. The only thing that's not right now, I believe, is Great. So most restaurants are open. Everything is mobile order right now. So you have the Disneyland app set up on your phone. You can order all your food. And a lot of great information was that you should order early. So even if you come in and you're not going to eat until noon, put in an order for your food, and then just when you're ready to eat, just say, I'm here. They'll fix your food, and you can take it and go and sit outside and enjoy the lovely weather that they're having over in Anaheim right now. But the Galactic Grill is open in Tomorrowland, Red Rose Tavern, and Fantasyland. Nothing in Toontown. It's more of like a snack place. Ronto Roasters and the Milk Stand are open in Galaxy's Edge. Unfortunately, Oga's Cantina is not. Let's see. Riverbell Terrace, Stage Door Cafe, and Ship to Shore Marketplace are open in Frontierland. And we've got French Market and Cafe Orleans in the Mint Julep Bar in New Orleans Square. Tropical Hideaway for your Dole Whip treats, and barbecue is open in Adventureland. And we've got the Jolly Holiday, Market House, Little Red Wagon, Plaza Inn, and Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor in Main Street. There are tons of attractions and restaurants also open in California Adventure. I don't know how much time we're looking at, but I do have us on the website on the article, everything available on opening day.
Yeah, so I've got that up at the moment, so we can take a look.
Awesome.
And this is the site, Chase's DisneylandToday.net site. So head on over there. It's got, like you can see here, it's got all the details you need to get you in there. And, you know, like Disneyland's only open to local residents, California residents. Am I correct in saying that?
Correct.
Yep.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so it's only open to California residents only. You know, people are saying some cast members are checking for residency, some aren't, but, you know, be prepared to have your ID with you that proves you're a California resident. If you don't have, like, a valid driver's license, that, you know, like, or a permit that you have a California address, you can also bring things like a utility bill or something like that, but it can only count for the person who pays the bill.
Okay, right. So
no you don't
cheating.
Want little Jimmy to be you don't want them to be paying for it. They're like, whose bill? Oh, that's my dad. Yeah. It'll only count for dad.
Yep. Sounds good. So yeah, look, it's a really exciting time down there, and really exciting for all of us. We've been waiting for, I think it's over 400 days for the park to reopen.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, I haven't stepped inside the park since 2019, and
oh, wow.
was planning a trip from Australia in 2020, which, you know, everyone got dashed. Hopes got dashed. At that
for Star Wars Celebration.
Yep. So very, very good to see it open again. I mean, you know, to see the happiest place on earth continue to be that is great news. So
absolutely.
So, you know, really happy about that, and happy to get back to that a bit later on. Brian, I just want to turn over to you perhaps now, and talk a little bit about what's been going on at Disney World, because the park's been over for quite some time now.
Yeah.
And I
almost a year.
Yeah, it's almost a year now. And, you know, that's great to see. I just wanted to, you know, get a sense from you what you think about crowd levels and how safe it is, and also wanted to talk to you today about possibly what's coming up for the 50th there, which I believe is in October. It begins in October.
Yep.
Also, what's coming up new specifically. I want your thoughts on Tron, and also Remy's the new ride, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which is coming to Epcot. So, yeah, look, fill us in a bit on, you're there every week. What's the crowd levels like? Do you feel safe in the park, and all that sort of thing? Let's start with that.
Yeah, like you said, I'm there every week. As far as they say, they're still limited to 35% of what the normal capacity is. Sometimes I feel like it might be higher, but Disney themselves says it's 35. It's not any higher. It wouldn't surprise me if, with how everything's going, that they might up that capacity, sometime over the summer. That wouldn't surprise me at all. That's just my opinion. There's been no news on that or anything yet. And then, I feel really safe. Honestly, I feel safer there than going to my local supermarket, to be honest.
Right.
They sanitize the rides. It used to be like every hour or 2 hours. They're down to just doing it 3 times a day now. But they have hand sanitizer at the beginning and end of every rides. So, you make sure everything's sanitized that way anyways. I am really excited though for the 50th, like you alluded to, because with the 50th anniversary coming up on October 1st for Magic Kingdom, obviously they're also going to be opening the Ratatouille ride at Epcot, and I am really excited for that. I'm going to try to be there opening day. Obviously, I don't have a reservation yet because those go quick and they're limited. But like I said before, with the thinking that they are going to open up more capacity, then that would mean, more reservations. So hopefully once those open up, I can get on and get one, because I want to make sure I can bring you guys some of the opening day stuff for Ratatouille, and then hop on over to Magic Kingdom and get some 50th footage for you guys as well.
Absolutely. And
it'd be cool if by the 50th they had like 50.
Doable. Especially with, like I said, how everything's going with, the rollout of, the vaccines and stuff out here in Orange County. So.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's great. So, is most of the park and most of the attractions and restaurants open now? Is there anything that's, obviously they're not doing any fireworks shows or anything like that just yet.
Right.
Is everything open, and when do we expect to see parades and things like fireworks and shows come back, do you think?
Well, there's still a lot of restaurants that aren't open yet. There's still, like all the smaller places like Casey's Corner for, hot dogs and stuff, that's not open yet.
All right.
Columbia Harbor House at Magic Kingdom, they haven't reopened yet. They did reopen Tomorrowland Terrace, and a lot of the stuff that you could find at Columbia Harbor House is going to be over there. They're using Columbia Harbor House as extended queue for Peter Pan's flight right now, just because of the social distancing. So it gets backed up. Obviously, that's a very, very big one. As far as fireworks and parades, there hasn't been any talk yet as far as a date and time, but I feel like, just in my personal opinion, that I would expect maybe by the fall to see maybe parades at least coming back. Just because the social distancing is starting to go, down to where you can be a little closer now. At least out here in Orange County, where Walt Disney World is, it's 6. It used to be 6 feet, now it's 3 feet. And I feel completely safe with that. So with that, I think that's allowed to let there a little bit of crowding, so that way you'll be able to have those parades and the fireworks as well. So I'm thinking, just my personal opinion, maybe like the fall.
Okay, well, that sounds good. And knowing that all that in Disney World, just going back to Disneyland shows, do you think things will move a little bit faster in terms of bringing things back than they did in Disney World? Do you think things will, sort of come back a little bit faster?
It would be nice to think
Yep.
that, but I actually don't think that
Mm-hmm.
it will.
Yep.
I think they're taking everything in very measured baby steps to make sure that everything is covered in California, that everything is perfectly safe, because everybody's kind of looking at that. You know, if it works for Florida, it'll work for California, and it's going to be. They need to make sure that they're sticking to all of the protocols to a T to make sure that nothing goes wrong. But it
Mm-hmm.
was good to see during the cast preview that they seem to be addressing the fact that people said that they had a lot of characters over at Walt Disney World. And I was really happy to see that on the cast previews, which ran from the 27th to the 29th, that they had tons of characters out. There were, and not just the characters like Mickey, Donald, Goofy. They
Yep.
had Elsa, Anna. They had the Evil Queen. They had all the princesses. Tiana. They had Cinderella, Snow White, Rapunzel,
Yep.
Flynn Rider, Jack Sparrow and Captain Red, and there was just they were everywhere, and there were cool places that they could put them. Some of which I'd never seen before. There's this new kind of almost like a tower stand off to the side, I think, by Snow White,
Okay.
that they were able to put some of the princesses in. Elsa was there, and so was the Evil Queen. So they've been very creative about how they're able to put characters out at a safe distance and still have pictures taken, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, all that. And so I think they learned that from Walt Disney World, like, hey, we need to make sure these characters are available at Disneyland.
I mean, the feeling I got from having a look at the cast member preview of Disneyland is I know when you walk into Disneyland, everything seems new. That's
Oh,
the way
yeah.
of Disneyland. It always seems new, but I just feel like it's even fresher if that's possible. I know it's been
No,
closed for a long
it's
time, but it just feels like seeing the vision, and it's just like everything's been painted, everything's like brand new in the
Mm-hmm.
park. It just feels that way.
absolutely. They made sure that up to the very last moment before the cast opening, they were painting the fences. They were planting new flowers and putting in just trimming everything, making it look absolutely spotless. And Disneyland has always had this sort of immaculate look to it, but I think you're absolutely right that it was right on par with being like, I'd say it probably looked a lot more beautiful than it did on opening day, because there were so many mistakes made on
Yeah,
for
yeah,
opening day of Disneyland in 1955.
yep,
But it's at its most beautiful right now, I think, with everything in bloom for kind of like a late spring,
yep, yep.
um, and everything is green and colorful, and they've opened everything up so the walkways, they're all it's it's gorgeous. The new hub is beautiful.
Yeah, yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. And the carousel looks extraordinarily awesome as
Oh,
well, I think.
it's amazing.
What
It's
they've
got
done there is
that
beautiful.
royal purple tent there, and they put a bunch of new gold leafing.
Hmm.
They repainted all the horses for the refurbishment that was taking place before the park closed.
Yep.
So they have just done such a beautiful job, and of course, hand painting all of the intricate details on Snow White's Enchanted Wish. They had a video that's out there. It's on YouTube of a cast member sitting there with a tiny, tiny little paintbrush, painting in all of the flowers and the little ornate decoration on the exit of the attraction. And it's just like that's how much care and very intimate little details that they make sure that you see whenever, no matter where you are. So yeah, Disneyland has always been so great about that. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah, and just moving back to Disney World now, Brian. So noticed in your
Yeah.
vlog this week, we look like we've got most of the decorations on the castle for the 50th. Starting to look
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, looks. I'm sure it looks great in person. And I noticed also the People Mover is opened up again, which is great.
Yay!
Yes, it
Um,
has, and that is one of my favorite rides. Absolutely, it's top of the list for me. So I was super excited that it finally reopened after being closed for over a year. I was super happy.
yeah, and yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
and
people mover nerd. I'm sorry.
oh, that's fine. I'm a People
I
Mover.
had to actually watch. I wanted to see that video from. We have Jordan from Happy Place Explorers, who's our partner on DisneylandToday.net. He did a video regarding the People Mover reopening, and those
Hmm.
reaction videos are the best.
They are.
And I noticed that you had a good look at Tron today. I'm just going to throw a video of Tron. This is a video of Tron over in Shanghai, which is basically going to be the same ride as what we're going to see in Disney World. And it looked pretty good today. What was your feeling of how far we are with Tron so
They've made a lot of progress on it, definitely. I heard recently that they are kind of like holding pattern right now.
far?
Just a little delay, I guess, for lack of better words. I guess from what I heard, they're kind of holding in that holding pattern until the end of the year. Definitely not anything this year, but I would say for sure next year, obviously. And I think that's what they're planning. They had said 2022. After everything got pushed back, during the closure as it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, God, that looks like so much fun. I cannot wait
Oh, it
until it
looks
opens.
so
It sounds good.
awesome. I'm just like, ah. I heard,
Yeah, believe it or not, I've
the
never
big.
actually even watched this before, so I
Oh
can't
my
wait.
gosh, I've seen this so many times. Just like, and the rumor is that they've ordered from the manufacturer. They've ordered 3 coasters, and so there is a possibility that Disneyland may get one because Shanghai has one.
All
Epcot
right.
is getting one,
Mm.
and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully we get one over at Disneyland. That would be super cool.
Where do you think
I
they'd
want
put
to
it?
ride this ride so bad.
Where do you think they'd put it in Disneyland shows if it did go to Disneyland? Do you think it would be in California or um, it would go?
Here's like the thing that I watched Alex the Historian on YouTube, and from what he was telling me, they're really not doing a lot to change Tomorrowland from a rumor perspective. He said that he does have people on the inside that he knows, but they said that they're keeping the Autopia and thinking of doing electric cars. I not a fan of that, but okay. And they will probably bulldoze the Interventions launch bay building. So, but apparently this coaster is like almost like 1.5 times the size of the Interventions building, which is huge. So I actually don't know where they'd put it unless they got rid of if they got rid of the Interventions building, maybe because then you're pushing into Star Space Mountain a bit. So
Yep.
it would have to take up that entire
Yeah.
wall of space in
Yep.
order to build a coaster that large. But there is a possibility that they're planning ahead for Disneyland Forward.
All right. Awesome. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is
Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a new attraction that we're bringing here to World Showcase.
You know,
in
to
Epcot,
have a
based
look
on
at
the
this
Pixar
video,
film
which came
Ratatouille.
out.
We can't wait for our
this
guest
came out a
experiences
couple
at the
months
Walt
back,
Disney World Resort
when
in
this girl,
2021.
sort of won a
The
competition
ride
to
is
go
really
inside the
inspired
ride.
by a scene in the film where
You know,
Remy
do you
falls
think
through
that,
the skylight down to the floor of Gusteau's
You know, it's
kitchen.
ready to go.
When guests
Like,
enter
do you
the
think it's
space,
been
they're
delayed more
stepping
than it
straight
needs to
into
be
the film.
done,
And part of that magic is
I don't
really
think it's
making
been
sure
delayed.
that we are paying
I
such
think
close
it's ready to
attention
go.
to the detail.
I think the
Guests are going to feel as if they've been
reason
shrunk
that they're
down to
not
the
going
size
to
of a
open it
rat.
until October 1st is just to help with crowds for the 50th on October 1st. I think they're doing that by design. That way they don't get too overcrowded for Epcot and Magic Kingdom. They can kind of split it up that way. And then, you know, obviously then at like 2 o'clock, that's when they do park hopping. Then, you know, you can switch parks. That way you don't have a super big crowd at either one, really. I mean, I know it's still going to be crowded. But there's no doubt about that. Still going to be crowded. But hopefully that'll help divide the crowds up a little more evenly.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's ready to go. I don't think there's really a delay or anything. I think it's sitting there probably, if not ready to go, super close to ready to go.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be an exact copy of the one that's already in, what is it, Disneyland Paris, I think, is where they have it. It would make the most sense if it was in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
But
it is.
but no, I mean, this attraction is so cool. It's trackless. It's like larger than life, literally, and it just looks like a lot of fun. I would totally ride it.
It does look like fun. You get to experience it from Remy's point of view.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. It's kind of like the way Toy Story Land presents itself, isn't it? Because you're like shrunk down to sort of toy size. Yeah.
Yeah. You get shrunk down to toy size. So in this one, you get shrunk down to rat size.
Yeah. It's really good how
Bugs Land, A Bug's Life, kind of the land that they had in California Adventure was that way too. It's like, you know, you walk in and the grass is like 50 feet above you.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that well. How long do you think that's been gone for now, Chase?
It's
a few years now.
They've been a while since, you know, of course, they started Avengers Campus over there, so it's been at least that long since they cleared that ground, and that's another thing. I can't wait for Avengers Campus. That is going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
That's going to be epic.
Can't believe I didn't mention that. I was going to ask you about Avengers Campus. Do you think, you know, we were discussing this earlier, but do you think that they're going to let, you know, maybe out-of-state visitors to come to the park when Avengers Campus opens? Do you think that's something they're planning?
I think that would be smart. If they, you know, I'm sure right now for California residents, it's a good time to test the waters, make sure everything is working, that they can control a group of residents right now with social distancing and how they're passing people through the attractions. But I think with an opening like Avengers Campus and how big it's going to be, especially since there's only one new attraction, I think that it would be smart to have them open up the park to out-of-state guests and let them experience it also. That would be super cool. And that's June 4th. So by then, I would think they have a good idea about how it's going to work for everybody.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's kind of summing up the parks. Anything else you guys think's important at the moment regarding the parks? I mean, I did want to move on, but really happy to see
I
Disneyland.
totally do.
Really happy to see Disneyland.
I have
open.
The news that we got yesterday that is super awesome is that Disneyland will be getting a new annual pass program before the end of the year, according to Ken Potrick. He mentioned that, I guess, in a podcast or a live stream that Disneyland will have its new annual pass holder program announced before the end of the year. So that is super awesome. I can't wait. I'm gonna get mine for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That is great news. I think there was a lot of despair when all that finished. From a lot of pass holders, and it's great.
40 years.
Yep. There's been a lot of firsts over the last couple of years, though, hasn't there? I mean, you know, who would have believed that Disneyland would be closed for over 400 days? It's just amazing stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, just amazing.
And
stuff.
It was incredibly, I mean, even though you had, like, you opened up Downtown Disney and then Buena Vista Street opened up in California Adventure. And then, you know, we got a touch of Disney, which was kind of like a little bit of a toned down version of our food and wine festival that we get. It was so good, you know, to see the reactions of people walking into California Adventure, and yet there was that longing in their eyes, like, I just want to go on an attraction. And it's like everybody, I think, was feeling that same sort of thing. They're like, I want to go on Incredicoaster. I want to see, you know, all this, all that. And I totally get that. But seeing everybody on the cast member soft opening was just, you know, my heart went out to all of them who were just so emotional and saying, you know, this has been too long. It's, you know, for somebody who's to the park like all the time, for somebody who goes like weekly or even monthly, to know that no one could go to the park is heart-wrenching, and you want to go back. And with it being so close and yet so far there's a closed gate, then so it's so good to see the reactions of everybody. But it's definitely emotional and powerful thing to be back in a theme park. I think more so than any theme park in, you know, Disney theme parks have a special place besides being just a park where you can spend with your family. So I think Disneyland was like a powerful thing, as I heard so many people say, I'm home. This is a big deal for people.
Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely. And I just had to throw the vision up there again because, why not?
It's so beautiful. Look at it. So awesome.
It's great to see it from that aerial view as well. It's
indeed.
It gives you a complete different perspective. Good to see it open again. So I'm going to turn our attention now to Disney Plus and some shows coming up. First of all, let's go back here. First of all, I want to talk about the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and just get everyone's thoughts on that. I haven't got any vision of that to put up, but let's have a chat about it. So what did you guys think of the last episode? What did you guys think of the whole series? I mean, 6 episodes. We've now got a new Captain America, which is extremely interesting to say the least. We had a new Captain America. Now we've got the Captain America, I guess. What do you guys think about this whole thing? Is it a good idea? Should we have just left it alone, or is it good to have a new Captain America and I believe a flow-on movie as well? Putting it to you guys.
What do you want to comment it on, Brian?
You can go first. I was going to let you go first.
Okay, cool. Having watched this at like midnight every time we got a new episode, this was a hard series to watch. Like with WandaVision, I love WandaVision. I've rewatched it probably about half a dozen times, and it is beautiful. But this one was a little bit hardcore and I think for anybody. It's like this was a dark Marvel movie, and and I say movie because that's literally what it is, just broken up into 6 pieces. We got a lot of up to the day social justice issues, and it really hit home and related to a lot of what people are feeling right now. And so seeing John Walker come in as Captain America was very, very hard for me. I love Steve Rogers. I love Chris Evans.
Have to agree.
And so yeah, and so it was very, very difficult to watch that, and then also just see the the way that he acted was just so against everything that Steve would have done. But I absolutely love Bucky's kind of turmoil that they're both dealing with, whether it's working with each other or the fact that there's just so much baggage from the previous films. Sam got snapped. So he's back from that after 5 years. And Bucky has just been dealing with, the whole Winter Soldier issue. But I think one of the most interesting characters had to be Zemo. I'd have to say watching him was probably the most enjoyable of the entire series, and I was like, I didn't even give him a second thought when he showed up in Civil War, and I was like, this guy is actually really kind of cool because he's got a gray area that he's in that's I'm good, I'm bad, and you have to like say understand with everything that he's I get what he's saying, and I'm right there with him, but then there's like, you were so bad, you were a bad guy. And then, of course, there's the club dance, which was amazing.
That was pretty good.
But I don't think that this series had the rewatchability of WandaVision. It's hard to watch this episodes like a second and third time.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Look, I guess things must go on, and it will be interesting to see a movie come out of it to see where that goes.
It'll be nice
Captain
to see Sam
America
get his
4.
own movie. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it will be. And look, it was very action packed. I felt like every episode was like a mini movie. To be honest, there was that much action in it, and that much going on that it did feel like a full production. I mean, when you watch The Mandalorian, that feels like a movie every week as well. So I think that's what they're trying to head towards, especially since it's so hard to go to the cinema these days that they have to stream good quality, I think. And
absolutely.
That's where most Disney movies are going as well these days. I mean, because you can't watch them in the cinema, basically. Definitely. And that's a real shame, but at least we do have a platform to view them on. So I just want to move on now to the Bad Batch, and I've got the clip. I've got the clip to show now. The Bad Batch.
It's going to be good.
Is going to be
a test is in order.
May the 4th, I believe.
5 enhanced clones, more capable than an army. Yet they exhibit a concerning level of disobedience in disregard for orders.
Is this going to be a weekly episode?
What you got? Give me more!
You guys know how long it's going to be.
Our squad's nothing but trouble. But we get the job done.
You're Clone Force 99. Echo.
Hyperdrive's online.
Tick.
Prepping to jump.
That's better. Sorry about that.
There we go. I was like, I don't hear a thing you're saying, John.
Okay, so let me repeat what I was saying.
I was just watching the preview.
You're good. Sorry for that, everyone that's watching, because John forgot to. My questions to you guys were: do we think there's enough content in the Bad Batch to go for many, many seasons? And also, how many episodes are they going to release? Does anyone know right from the start?
I have no idea how many episodes
I'm
they're
not sure they
releasing. I
said.
haven't heard anything, but I think there's definitely enough content, especially after what we got
more than enough.
I mean, we got just the fact that we just got a little chapter of them when they released the final season of the Clone Wars. The fact that they've got all this, and I want to know personally. I want to know more about that kid. I don't know who he is, but I think he is fascinating. I want to know more about
there's
this.
definitely some questions as to who that is.
So it's going to be an amazing series.
Yeah, it looks super cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I don't think they've said anything about, how many episodes or how many seasons they're planning, but like Chase said, they've got plenty of content for it. I think it could go, multiple seasons for sure. Especially, since the seasons aren't necessarily too many episodes as it is, so they can make plenty of episodes just based on these guys alone. I mean,
yep.
like Chase said,
personally,
in the Clone Wars, they were really awesome. Just that little chapter that you got.
Personally, I'd like to see just one season of this and kind of sum up what it is that they want to lead us up where we are at Clone Wars, and then I'd like to see another season of Rebels, please. Like, get Filoni and Favreau on another season of Rebels. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Find Ezra. Find Ezra. Hashtag, I call it hashtag Find Ezra.
I kind of think they might be waiting for some sort of live action show to find Ezra. I'm feeling like it might be Ahsoka, to be honest. And
I think maybe.
Do you feel like the Bad Batch could turn into some connection with the live action shows that are coming in, or could it have a standalone live action show in the end? You think it could stand on its own as a live action show, or would you want to see it as a live action show? That'd be the question.
I'd be intrigued by its own live action, honestly, and I think it could probably stand alone on its own, but it'd also be fun to see it kind of interact with the other live action shows. So maybe have its own live action, but also just have them all interact with each other, possibly little crossovers from time to time. Like we see TV shows on TV do that all the time. So it'd be cool to see them do it with these shows, like you said, Ahsoka, Marion, Bad Batch. It'd be cool if they all could do some sort of crossover event for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be very intrigued by that. I'd watch that.
I think that idea of a Star Wars universe that Dave Filoni has been creating is something really awesome, and it's what's really brought Star Wars back again. Of course, we had the new movies, but now with this, with the Mandalorian and things happening in that, it's even more exciting. I think Star Wars has got a really good future, and I think it's in really good hands with Disney. I know that sometimes people don't agree with me, but I tend to agree that Disney has got Star Wars sewn up really well, and I like the direction they're taking it in, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yep.
I just have to add that I try and tell people who really say they don't like the sequels and everything. I really don't think that any other studios could have handled Star Wars like Disney. You have to have a studios like Disney that has the money to put forth to come up with Galaxy's Edge and all these different series and movies and keeping Star Wars alive. So for all of you, just give that a thought, because it's we have Star Wars, I think, because of Disney.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have seen anything further from George, I don't think. I think, if Disney didn't take it over. I'm really...
There's so much Star Wars, and I'm already craving more. I'm always craving
absolutely.
more.
Well, the more you get, the more you crave, basically.
Exactly.
So, moving on from the Bad Batch, let's take a look once I've lined it up. And hopefully I can turn the audio off this time at Black Widow. Now, get rid of that. So, I don't know much about this, guys. I don't know much about what's going to happen with Black Widow. Have we seen much more than or do we know much more than the trailer I'm currently playing?
I'm not aware. There's like so little. I mean, I've watched one where they have Scarlett Johansson actually introducing, like, you know, you thought you knew Natasha, but now here's all this new stuff, and you're like, now you find out this, this, and this, and this before she was ever an Avenger. And so that was pretty awesome. But I have been waiting for this movie since it was first announced. I was like, okay, it's in theaters. And then the pandemic hits, and it was like, oh, no, it's been pushed back. And then it's like, gets to where it's pushed back, and they're like, they push it back even further. And now that we have Disney Plus, it's the perfect platform. And I was like, now I want to see this movie so badly.
Me too.
She's such a cool character. I love love Black Widow.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see like her beginnings, like where she was before she was ever an Avenger. And maybe it'll, show a little bit leading up to, when she got recruited. But I'm looking forward to learning more about her character before she was an Avenger, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep. No, look, it does look really good, and I have to agree, she's one of my favorite characters of the Avengers. So yeah, that looks great. But not much more do we know about it just yet. So we'll leave that one alone. And the next one I want to throw into the conversation is Loki, and here's one again that we don't know much about. And let me just find the clip now.
Yeah, Chase is super excited for Loki. I think Loki's one of Chase's favorites for sure. I think we're all excited, but yeah, I think Loki is like Chase's favorite.
I love Loki. There's I can't even say it enough. I love him so much, and Tom Hiddleston is just incredible, and you realize just how. I think there is no better video out there than his Hall H at Comic-Con, where he's like standing in full costume out in the front, and he just says to thousands of people, "Say my name," and then everybody shouts Loki, and it's like, so it was just, he's an amazing person who has just done incredible things for this character, and I don't think anybody could play him but Tom, and this show is going to be incredible. Absolutely.
Such a cheeky chappy, isn't he? Yes.
Yes.
I love that you said that. I love when you said that.
Yes, very much so. And the clip looks really good. I think it's going to be one to watch look. There's going to be so much on Disney Plus this year. Pretty excited
absolutely
about everything that's coming up. I mean, we haven't even seen a lot of the stuff. Ahsoka, we're going to see. Right. Yep.
We got another season of The Mandalorian coming. We've got Book of Fett.
Yep. That'll be awesome.
Book of Boba Fett.
Yep. And them, of course, Bad Batch is, our thing coming out. There's like an off, like a droids thing coming out, and
I think that one's
Andor. With
that'll be awesome. Yeah, that'll be
Cassian
awesome.
Andor. Yeah. So we'll get a little bit of fans of that series. And now I wouldn't mind if they did something for Darth Maul. Can Disney Plus? Can we have Darth Maul, please?
Yep, that'd be good. Oh, and Obi-Wan's coming out as well.
Give me a Darth Maul show. And Obi-Wan,
Yeah, Obi-Wan's coming out
as well. Obi-Wan, yes.
He's
Kenobi.
So important.
And we're going to see...
That's right now, I think.
Yep, and we're going to see Darth Vader in that as well, so that'll be really good. That'll be really cool.
Yes, Hayden Christensen, all grown up and not so whiny.
Hey, he was only acting as directed, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
You can only act so much with a green screen behind you, you know.
Yeah,
That's
you
when
can.
that was all still pretty new. I'm gonna give him a little pass on that because that was still fairly, you know, kind of newer technology, and a lot of actors were still getting used to that. And yes, some handled it better than some, Chase, for sure. But I'm gonna give him a pass 'cause he was still getting his acting career going.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know.
He was. I think those movies, the three prequels, did grow on people over the years.
Probably.
Yeah, but you know,
You either love them or you hate them.
yeah,
True. There's no in between there.
Star Wars fans are very divided, but you know, I choose to love everything that is Star Wars because
I take everything for what it is.
Yeah, because I
Sure.
think it is good stuff. And,
oh yeah, there's always something good about each one. You know, you may have like me, you'll pick it apart, but there are good things of each one. So
absolutely. I mean, you know, and you know, I was there the day that you know, A New Hope came out of the cinemas, so that was pretty, and it's been such a journey since then. And thanks to Disney, we got so much more, so that's great. So look, guys, we've been chatting away here for nearly an hour now.
Has it been an hour already?
It has been an hour already.
It's easy to do. I could talk about this stuff all day.
So
in 5 minutes.
So what have we got here?
Boy, we got through that fast.
nearly 4 o'clock here in Australia, Sydney, Australia, here at the moment. 4 a.m. that is, not p.m. So I'm
wow.
Yeah. I've only been editing this show all day as well.
We'll give you a break next time, John. We'll give you.
yeah, mate. So what I wanted to move on to next before we go is May the 4th, and we've got something special coming up on May the 4th. I believe, Brian, you've got something that you're going to be doing that day. Let us in on that one.
I do. So I have a park reservation for Hollywood Studios, so I can spend the whole day in Galaxy's Edge on May the 4th. And there's going to be a lightsaber meetup that evening around 7:45 p.m. Eastern time. Right. So I'm super stoked for that because I've been to a couple of them and they are always super fun. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people showing up this time than like the last couple of times. Yep. They're expecting a lot of them. They have us in a bunch of different groups, so like they're going to have us lined up like throughout different parts of the park, so we don't get in people's way. Nice. And there's not too many of us, and we can stay socially distant. But yeah, so I will be there live on the ground with my lightsaber in hand.
Awesome. So we're going to. So I think that is a signal for our next live show. I think we're going to try and hook up with you when you're down there for a bit.
Yeah.
So I think Chase and I are going to run the show and then hook up with you down there for a few minutes and so you can show us around. So that's pretty exciting. Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And
I mean, you're going to see a little bit here, but definitely check out the vlog for even more.
Definitely, yes, yeah. Yep, we will be waiting to see the vlog straight after
for a full Star Wars day. Yeah. Let me tell you, it's going to be epic.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Got my shirt ready too.
I'm sure you have. I don't think we're going to be doing much here in Australia. Usually got sort of life-size TIE fighters, but I'll be out and about, and I might do a few records and a few vlogs around the place to see what's going on. Excuse me. So before we go,
definitely, guys, I'll be able to add. I'll be able to add our feedback on what we thought of the first Bad Batch. So.
Oh yes, definitely, absolutely, yes, that'll be good. And look, before we go, I just wanted to apologise to everyone. The stream's been pretty bad today, and it's my fault. My internet here at home hasn't been so good. We will be working on that for future live streams. to make sure it's a little bit better for you. Hopefully you could hear us if you couldn't exactly see us in time, so that you could know what we're talking about. But we will soon see when we see the playback. But guys, thank you so much for joining me here on our first live show.
Of course. That's awesome.
Real pleasure to see you.
That was great.
As normal. It was good fun to talk about what we all love. Hopefully we can do it on a regular basis now. I know that you guys, we do have a group on Facebook now, which we do update a lot. And so you guys can stay up to date with everything that's happening in regards to Disney. And we also have an Instagram site, and Chase has been uploading photos, doing really well, and the photos are really great. So thanks for that, Chase. And yeah, make sure you get over and take a look at the Instagram site as well.
We should have, I think we're around 90, I think it's 98 people now that are following us on Instagram. So for any of you who are watching this from Instagram who follow Magic Partners, we hope to talk to you in the future right through Instagram and our other social media.
We certainly do.
Oh, yeah. We're actually, I just checked, just, for fun while we're live, we are up to 102 followers now.
Oh,
so
awesome.
we broke the 100 barrier.
Yeah, so it's doing pretty well. I think we've got a lot of people sort of interested in what we're doing, and hopefully more and more of you will watch the stream as time goes on, and hopefully you see some sort of value in talking to us. We believe we've got something to offer about Disney. I believe the two people next to me are complete Disney experts. I hope you do as well. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. And